Assalamu alaikum dear students, and welcome back to the second part of our lecture, which is passive. Students, as you know that we have done the continuous tense. Now this tense is connected with its passive voice. Dear students, please be attentive and listen to me very carefully and watch the video till end for the complete understanding of the lecture passive voice. Because without its concept, you can't change active voice into passive voice. Dear students, let's start our lecture. First of all, I would like to clarify that what is passive voice. Students, here you can see its definition that when subject is not performing an action and it is replaced by an object, it is called passive voice. Here I would like to quote some examples that would clearly tell you about the passive voice sentences. As you can see the first example in front of you, the prize is being won by Ali. Here the prize is not performing an action. In fact, doer of this action is replaced by object, that is Ali. Let us see the other examples as well, where you can notice that all the subjects are not performing an action as they all are non-living. Like, the letter is being written by him, the food is being cooked by my mother, clothes were being washed by him, the book was being read by her. Dear students, here comes the common rule. But before discussing these rules, I would like to clarify something. That whether it is the passive voice of present continuous tense, past continuous tense, or future continuous tense, we are going to apply these common rules in each and every form of the tense. The first rule is subject is changed into object. Subject means the doer, the subject who is performing an action. It is replaced by an object. An object is replaced by subject. Second rule is always third form of verb is used. Make it sure. I told you earlier whether it is present, past or future continuous tense, always third form of verb is used. And third rule is by. By is used before replacing an object. Students, now we are going to discuss the helping verbs of continuous tense. You must be thinking that if we shall apply the common rules on every type, then how can we differentiate that it is the passive voice of particular tense? Students, don't worry. These helping verbs will tell you about the particular tense. Now, first of all, I would like to read the table in front of you. You must have read it's written present continuous tense. In present continuous tense is being, are being, am being is used. In past continuous tense, was being and were being will be used. And in future continuous tense, will be being, shall be being will be used. Students, as I told you in the first lecture, but I will repeat it again to remind you about its particularity. Is being will be used with all singular subjects. Are being will be used with plural subjects. And am being will be only used with subject I. In the same way, was being will be used with singular and were being will be used with its plural subject. And in case of future continuous tense, same difference will be there as I told you earlier that with I and we, shall will be used and with all other subjects, will be used. But students, keep this thing in your mind that the passive voice of future continuous tense is used rarely. Students, before transforming active voice into passive voice, I would like to tell you about the change of pronouns when the subjects would be I, he, she, we, they. Then, how shall we change these subjects into objects? Here is a table in front of you, in which I have clearly mentioned if the subject would be I, it shall change into me, he into him, she into her, we into us, they into them. But if the subject is you, it will remain same in object. I have quoted an example in front of you where she is mentioned. She is eating apples. Now let's make the passive. Apples are being eaten by her. Here focus on she as a subject and her as an object. Students, now here I am going to share the methodology of changing active voice into passive voice. Before changing active voice into passive voice, understand the following points. First and foremost step is identify the correct tense. Whatever the sentence is, you are going to focus on tense. As I have mentioned, he is cleaning his car. And now you are going to keep this thing in your mind that is cleaning is there. So the tense is present continuous tense. Now keep this thing in your mind. Second step is apply the common rules. Like he is cleaning his car. See, his car dash cleaned by him. Here I have applied the common rules only. Now let's move to the third step. As I told you earlier that it is present continuous tense, and let us remember the table I have discussed. Is being, are being, and am being is used in present continuous tense. And if it is singular, his car is there? Yes. So his car is being cleaned by him. If it would be written, he is cleaning his car. If it would be plural, then we are going to write his cars are being. Only singular is there. Only in that case we are going to use is. His car is being cleaned by him. In this way we shall change active voice of continuous tense into passive voice. Students, I hope you have understood the lecture. But still I want to quote some examples to make sure that you have completely understood the lecture. Now be mentally alert and let's move to the first example. That is, I am brushing my teeth. Now focus on the rules that I told you earlier. Its passive voice would be, my teeth are being brushed by me. Let's move to the second example. She was singing the song. The song was being sung by her. Make it sure sing is the first form. Sing, sang, sung. Sung is the third form of verb. Number third, they were playing the game. The game was being played by them. Have you noticed the change of pronoun? First example, I into me, she into her, they into them. Now, keep on focusing. Now, here is the last example that is totally interrogative. Why is he mending the chair? Make it sure that interrogative will remain interrogative. We are not going to make a statement. Question will remain question. So, make it sure the sequence will be, why is the chair being mended by him? Students, I expect that you have completely understood the lecture, but let us solve the activity of passive voice together. Here is the last activity of the worksheet number 11, and this activity is truly based on passive voice concept. As you can read the question, alter the voice of the following. Here you can see the first one, police will be calling the thief. Now, again recall all the rules of changing active voice into passive voice. Its passive voice would be, the thief will be being called by police. The second one will be, boys were flying the kite. The kites were being flown by boys. Number third, were they reading a novel? Now, make it sure question will remain question when we are going to change a novel as a subject. So, it's singular or plural? Yes, it is singular. So, of course, was will be there. Was a novel being read by them? Butcher is making mince. Now, mince is being made by butcher. Number 5, Students are posting the letters. Here focus on the letters. It is the plural form. So the letters are being posted by students. Number 6. Am I buying tickets? So its passive voice would be, if it is starting with helping verb, it will also start with helping verb. Like, are tickets being bought by me? Question mark. Make it sure first form of buying is buy, bought, and third form will be bought. Now dear students, here comes the second part of activity number 7. And number 7 is, were they making bridge? Now let's change this active voice into passive voice. Its passive voice would be, was bridge being made by them? Don't forget question mark. Number 8, the grandmother was telling the story. The story was being told by the grandmother. Number 9, she is buying the clothes. The clothes are being bought by her. Let me tell you the three forms of buy. Buy, second form bought, and third form is bought. So, according to the rule, third form of verb is there. Number 10, the students are decorating the school. Here's a little bit change, students, you are going to do. So, its passive voice is, the school is being decorated by the students. Number 11, will teachers be compiling the results? Let's change it into passive voice. Will the result be being compiled by teachers? Question mark. Let's discuss the last. That is number 12. Why was mother cleaning the floor? Its passive voice will be, why was the floor being cleaned by mother? Dear students, you must have noticed that in all these 12 question sentences, we are going to change active voice into passive voice, and the rules will be same as I discussed in the previous slides. Now students, it's the time to give you an assigned task. That is, you are going to fill the activity that we have recently discussed, that is activity number 7, properly on your workbook in beautiful and elegant handwriting. Afterwards, you are going to learn all the activities from 1 to 7 of this worksheet number 11, that is tenses and passives. Make it sure you are doing your best and giving your best, and it should not be cramming. Try to avoid cramming and try to develop your concept. Thank you.